Good morning, ladies and gents. Just got to church Monday morning, and I went out last night with a bunch of ladies that I used to work with at the lab. And then there's some ladies that work there now that I never worked with, but they were cool too. And yeah, we had such a great time. Oh my god. Went to a pretty nice little restaurant, a little Italian place, Trattoria. And I had Caesar salad and shrimp, and I even had tiramisu for dessert. I was like, I went all in. It was so good. Hello, little squirrel. Anyways, absolutely fabulous time. One of my friends that I worked with, I worked with her. She went through a lot of struggles. She lost her husband to brain cancer. And she's actually just got engaged, so she's getting remarried. And her birthday was this weekend, so we were celebrating her. And it was so funny, the group that came out, though. I was like, oh, I'm always talking about angels. There were definitely some of my lab angels not there, but there was a bunch of them there, and it was just, it was amazing. And it's funny, like, we're all telling, talking, telling stories. We did some reminiscing, which was really nice, and some funny stories of stuff we used to do in the lab, and especially when we were on nights and we didn't have a supervisor. It was a lot of really good times. But as people are, telling me stories about different experiences, excuse me, and we tend to talk about, like, deep stuff with each other. Like, there's no, like, gossip or blah, blah, blah about this person or that person. It's all personal, and just a wonderful group, like, to converse with, share stories. So the one girl was telling me about, she had been going through a really hard time the past over a year, and she told me that she went to this place to buy some plants that she found on either Marketplace or Kijiji or something, and she had lost her job, she had lost her mom, she had lost, a lot, and so she found this ad and she went to this place, but she didn't tell anybody she was going, and it ended up being, like, kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and she ended up, having a really great conversation with the lady, and they had a visit for hours, and the lady talked to her about plants and and she's like, everybody was so worried, like, oh my god, she's like, I don't normally ever do anything like that, just go to a place and not tell anyone where I'm going, or she said everybody was so worried whenever I came back, and everything was fine. She says, but seems like now, like, it was a really silly thing to do, but she said it was the most wonderful experience, and I was like, yeah, I said, sometimes that happens. You just let go and trust God and go to a place, and you'll meet this angel, and then that person was just there for a purpose, and maybe you were there for a purpose for them. Come together and have a really great experience, and helps you sort of see that not everything in the world is bad. We tend to have a lot of fear, going into things, and I'm not saying go to a stranger's house and buy stuff from them, or I'm not saying, like, it's safe to, just meet up with a stranger in public to buy something, because definitely there are cases where bad things have happened and whatnot, but her case was amazing. I've had a lot of really good stories. I only had a couple that, I had one where a guy came to my house to buy something, and then there was something not right with him, and he came back, and that was a little bit scary, but it turned out fine. And there was another time we went to a place to buy something that I was like, I got a bad feeling right away. I was like, oh my god, I don't know about this. And just a real bad feeling. And then we left and we were fine, everything was good, but sometimes, just being aware is what saves you, right? So stay on your guard or whatever. But yeah, so I said to her, that's an angel. That's an angel that you went to see. And I said, I've met several of them in different stages of my life, and I look back after and go, oh, wow, that was an angel. Even at times when I wasn't really believing in anything, and my faith was was very trodden upon. I look back on some people, some things that happened. I'm like, oh my God, that person was an angel. People that were around in my teens that were just always around, and never let anything happen to you, you know? Anyways, all in all, it was a wonderful experience last night. Oh, and then when we got talking, because I was wearing this necklace, and everybody loved it, and they were asking about it. I'm not Catholic, but I do love crosses, and I do love little Madonnas. And it was super shiny in the store, so, you know, it fit the bill. But yeah, no, I'm not Catholic. I'm not part of any religion, but we got talking about, you know, that, and so then it kind of led to religion. And when I was saying about angels, then another lady was telling me a story about when she was young, she, you know, her and her husband came here from another country. They're not from here. They're not from Canada. No, they're not. And I never met that husband because he left her when the kids were young, and he pretty much left her high and dry and in a state where, like, how do you work when you have two little kids, you know? Like, how do you pay the babysitter? How do you get a babysitter? She's not from here. She has zero family here. So, she had met a couple people that she was doing little things for. And so she called the lady one day and said, you know, I can't come. And the lady's like, oh, well, you know, what's wrong? And she didn't want to tell her because she didn't want to burden her. But the lady kind of figured out that something was wrong. And so she asked her to bring, if she could still come, but bring the kids to work because she really needed her. And so she's like, oh, okay. So lady continues on with the job with her, and then tells her she wants to take her somewhere to show her this place that she's thinking of, I guess, investing in or whatever. So they go, and she shows her this apartment, and she's like, oh, I could never afford something like this. Like, thank you for showing it to me, but this is way out of my price range. And the lady said, well, what do you think you could afford? And so she said, well, what I've figured out since my husband left is this is what I have, and this is what I have for rent, and, you know, it's not much. And the lady said, okay, well, that's going to be your rent. Oh, my God. So, she gets back on her feet. Raises two amazing children. Goes to school. Gets into lab work. Gets a good job. Makes a whole entire family of people at work. And obviously we're still a family. I mean, I haven't worked with her in over 11 years, and we still get together, so. And it's like no time has passed whenever we all get together. It's just a nice little family. Anyways, I just wanted to put it out there. Sometimes, you know, God will send you angels in your darkest time, and you just think, you know, you think nobody's coming. Sometimes I feel a little bit like that, but I mean, it's in a totally different way. I couldn't imagine being in a new country, barely speaking the language, with two little boys, and somehow making a way and surviving and staying a good person and doing, like, she does good things for people all the time. She's an angel. And it's funny, last night, because we were talking, and she's like, of all the friggin' people, everybody thinks she's Mexican, and she's like, why do people just assume I'm Mexican? I'm a Mexican. She's like, I'm not even Mexican. Like, people can't even get my country, you know? It's, I guess, just drawing attention to the fact of people are right now with all the immigrants, and they're like, no, they're gonna do this and they're gonna do that, and they're awful people. They're not. They're all just humans. You've been taught that by a society that wants to divide people. They want to divide people. And, you know, honestly, if people just came together and did things like this for each other, like, we have lots of people in this country who could help support, you know, people that are in a really hard time. But I remember this one lady one time whenever I was looking for a job. And I couldn't find anything. I did my resume, wasn't working out, and they had a resume service, and she was just like, you know what, I'm not gonna write your resume for you. I'm not gonna spoon feed you. You gotta go out and do this yourself. And I'm like, honestly. You know, when people are in a trying time, it's really hard to see the light. Sometimes, you know, better to just throw them a little rope rather than be like, well, how'd you get in this place? Because I can tell you, a lot of people are in our place by no fault of their own. There's a lot of people out here who are real trusting, empathic types that get thrown the brick instead of the rope. And it says everything about the person who has the choice of what they're going to throw, right? Like every choice. Every choice in the world. So next time you see somebody struggling, maybe throw them a rope instead of a brick. Go around ripping their reputation down or trying to put them down. I mean, I've seen people in this town alone, like, survive generational poverty. I mean, some people come out of it hard. I know one girl actually who, was in a family that it wasn't an easy life for her. From the outside, it looked like it was, but it wasn't. And you know, she went to college and got a really good career, made a family for herself. And it's the funniest thing, like when you see people that came from the same family and they end up in completely different circumstances, it just shows you how much, you know, the whole nature and nurture. You're born a certain way, or are you made that way? Are you made that way by society? No. Anyways, huge shout out to my ladies last night. You made you warmed me right up, girls. I got to see my sister too. I had a girl at the lab, and we didn't know each other prior, but when we met there, we really clicked. She was a little bit older than me, but we had went to the same high school. We know a lot of the same people. And yeah, just a real soul connection. And it's funny though, because you know, you see things on Facebook and you see a certain thing, and like her son just had another baby, but I thought her son's daughter, like her granddaughter, had a baby because it was them in the picture. And she goes, no, she's like, that's my two granddaughters. I thought it was her granddaughter and her great granddaughter, and I was like, oh wow, that's awesome, wow. But, you know, I mean, even completely innocently, we can screw things up and things. She said, oh, well, you know, a lot of people think that that's her baby and that, you know, they're just, you know, going to raise it for her. And I'm like, why would people even come up with nonsense like that? People can have kids 18 years apart, even with the same partner they had the first one with. It's doable, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, she was just saying, you know, people are always looking for something to smack talk about. And yes, they certainly are. They certainly are. I actually heard somebody say a fact the other night to people. And then, hi, Birdie. Good morning. Oh, he's a crow. I love my crows. Anyway, say something and, like, kind of say it in a joking fashion. But then afterwards, I said, is that true what you said? And they're like, no. And I said, well, why would you say that? Oh, well, I didn't really mean it. Well, you just said it to other people, though. You know what happens with that, eh? Those other people say it to somebody else. And those other people say it to somebody else. And that becomes some sort of fact in this town. It's not a fact. It's something you think in your head. Something you came up with in your little dreams. And you're spreading it like it's the word. Terrible stuff. Terrible stuff. Terrible stuff. Anyways, I was saying to somebody the other day too, like, I don't even know that these people that are telling these bullshit stories know that they are. I don't know. I don't know how lying really works. I mean, I'm not saying I've never lied. I've lied. Oh, yeah, I've lied. But, complete nonsense stories, especially when you are the source of the story and you know it's not true. You're like, I can confirm that is not true. And people are like, oh, yeah, it is. It's me they're talking about. I can tell you it's not true. Sure, Jamie. Yeah. We're going to believe a bunch of lowlifes out here instead of you because their story is more fun to tell. Tell it, baby. Keep telling it. Because, as proven to me last night, the right ones know, right? They can sit there and tell, preach a whole friggin' story on you and nonsense at the yin yang in a room full of strangers. Will be, oh yeah, I heard about that girl somewhere else too. Yeah. And then I go into a room with a bunch of people who actually know me, and it says love. We had a great time. Oh my God, I laughed so hard. I actually heard my laugh bounce off the wall. It was pretty crazy. Somebody said something, and I just like let this laugh out. And I heard it smash off the wall. It was like you know when you drive a car with no muffler through downtown Ottawa and it hits all the walls as you're going down the road. That's what my laugh sounded like. I don't know if I should be proud or embarrassed. Like, imagine the wall like broke or something. That's the power of laughter, boys and girls. The walls came tumbling down. The walls came tumbling. Oh God, how long have I been talking? Oh my God, I've been talking 17 frickin' minutes. I don't even feel like it. Sorry, I'll stop this because that's a long video, alright? But yeah, shout out to my ladies, my cheerleaders, my broads, my baby girls. Thank you for putting me in a fabulous mood in a slightly dark time. Have a beautiful day, everyone.